Friends, the last interview for today would be with Brian. When Rick Davey came to my previous show at Skyroom, he brought a whole bunch of models, and one of the models actually apparently was a pretty awesome violinist player. That's the guy sitting next to me. And when we did the fashion show, he was playing his violin, and I think it was pretty awesome, accepted, and we spoke about a number of productions, so we're thinking maybe we'll produce some music video for Brian and my son, who is in the background here. We're today at the Brick Studio, so it's one of the studios where I film. So like, as you see, like if you look recording, it's in this particular studio we can mic up to 28 instruments, and that we can produce proper light and sound. So there are some other studios here that could be used at Brick. Hopefully I'll give you a tour once we're done. Maybe you can tell what is your story, what is your journey, talk about you, who you are.
First and foremost, good afternoon. Thank you to Alexander for inviting me here to Brick Studio. It's a pleasure to be here, my first time here. First and foremost, my mission, I like to push art with a mission statement. I'm from Jamaica, Queens, New York City, born in New Jersey. Went to school in Virginia, Old Dominion University, graduated. Then I came back here to New York City. Somehow I got into the arts. I was going to get into into the science, into the science. But unfortunately, my life kind of went this way. It was more so. Well, my mother passed when I was 5 years old, and
I'm sorry.
That's how. Yeah, that's how I got into the violin. I started scribbling, I started writing so much, and that the art started turning into scribble. And so I picked up the violin, and my mother passed at 26 years old, and my sister passed at 26 years old. Mother and daughter was 26 years old when they both passed away due to drugs. That's why the album is called Scribble 2626. And it's
so
more
you're not
therapy,
afraid to show your kind of vulnerability, and I think the audience can resonate with the struggle that you faced from early childhood. So that's really like something that artists cannot buy. That kind of it is what it is, and you have it. It's a part of who you are.
Yeah, when I picked up the violin, it's more so therapy. I didn't look at it as like entertainment. You know what I mean? It was a coping mechanism. So that's how I picked it up, and I said, you know what? Let me give back to my community. So I went back to my community. I was a substitute school teacher, and so I went back to that was the way to thank my community for helping me go to college, and they donated locker covers and sheets. My principal. So I went back. Gave back to my community. Now I'm bringing education inside the art. So my goal is to bring education, health and fitness inside the arts, and to reaching out to our kids. Sometimes our kids don't listen when you just talking to them, but when you say things in riddles, they have a tendency of tuning into sound and music. They have and help their studying.
Where are you coming? What's your future? Like, I know that you do at work marketing and SEO and stuff, but you inspired to see yourself as the musician, a singer, like a performer. Like, what steps do you take to take it to the next level?
To take it to the next level.
What do you want to record? Like, what will distinguish you from everybody else?
What would this discipline? Discipline, health, getting this together first and foremost. If your health and your condition ain't together, it's more than talent. So I had to make sure that I was disciplined, avoid drugs, and just stay in shape and stay ready.
Okay.
And that's what I'm a survivor. That's what separates me from the pack.
Are you coming to my fashion show on the 5th at Skyroom? I have a show here on the 7th, September 7th. If you are, we can do a plug-in, so the guys will know that come and tune in. Maybe you can play another, like maybe they can comment what to play while the models walk. I'm thinking like maybe if you have a longer court next time, you can actually not only stay behind next to me, next to the DJ, but you actually can walk with the models and like all the way to the runway, like where the photographers are, and maybe that way you get more in the shot, because you got a lot in my shots, but other photographers who were way there didn't get a lot of shots of you.
Yeah, it was a beautiful fashion show. It was some of it was improv. Next time, we do preparation, planning and preparation. More teamwork. It was very astonishing.
Yeah, that was on the fly.
Very beautiful. I was a special guest at that moment, but this time, hopefully y'all know about me that I will be at the show ahead of time.
Having friends cheering and supporting, that's really big deal. Yep.
So it's come on out, etiquette edgy. I bring etiquette edginess to the fashion show. It wasn't just straight superb or etiquette. It had edginess, with it, and that was phenomenal. And that's where I come in at, with the edginess. It's one thing that separates me from the pack. I'm a model also, so I don't want y'all to get confused out there and say, oh, okay, he coming aboard as a musician. I came in the game as a model. That's how I got into the music. I love my beautiful human sculptures. I love my models. Without my models, I am nothing. I motivate the models motivate me. And
but a lot of models, like, people think, oh, just modeling, but then just music. But when you put together a different sound and the beautiful look and something handsome, interesting, my next show has a lot of fragrances, so perfumes. So every model gonna smell differently. So we've sprayed with the perfumes. You saw those big fans. We're gonna move the air, so hopefully no one has allergies. But they will also smell the models. Not only they will look at the models, how pretty they are,
that's beautiful.
and they will like hear them. Some of them will give the mic so they can sing and do poetry, and
beautiful.
They can do like a sketch, and they can do crack some jokes and stand up. And we also expect that models also have smell. I think smell and perfume is also part of the fashion.
Yes, that's true. I would love to see more of that. If we could bring more lotion, perfume, and but while we bring in talent, let's put health. Let's take health into consideration too. You know what I mean? Don't just say, oh, I know people have allergies. Let's just bring more perfume or cologne. I think you should put people with allergies into consideration.
I do.
Put people health into consideration.
That's why I'm letting them know that this show has a lot of smell. So people who have allergies should be aware. I don't want people sneezing and get sick because of my show. So I'm announcing this up front, so they know what if that's something they bother them.
Oh, okay.
Maybe they should not come in to the show. Maybe they should take Advil or whatever they make, like a Claritin or whatever the medication before the show, so they can still enjoy the show and not to get sick because of it. Because most of the people don't, when they go to the fashion show, they don't expect it's a perfume fashion show. They think it's just they're gonna look at the models. They don't know that the models can sing and dance and do other things like playing violin.
Exactly.
And plus it's a smell, so it's different senses. So that's why I'm just putting this out there for the
smart
folks.
Alexander, and we need more of that. And that's why that's one thing I respect about Alexander. He's very conscientious and detail oriented when he put on his shows, and he take consideration and value when it comes to our health, and let people know that us as models, we're not just models on a runway. We have talent, we have singing ability, we are musicians, we are poets, we family people. We're not just human sculptures that just sit there. And that was something that I was going through in the industry. The the couple of, the times that I was modeling, I always had musical ability. Y'all just now seeing my talent. It always was there, but every time I came up to the forefront, I always came in, as a human sculpture of not saying nothing. And we more than just mannequins, we have a heart. We bleed, we cry, on set, so.
Okay, I'm just checking. We still have time. My point is the plugin for 3D designers. So we're gonna have the male designer who makes the tuxedos and frocks, for guys. It's very flashy, it's like with roses and very bright colors. So like look at me kind of tux. Now I have a male designer who will show their suits. It's more like for business and professional, like a really wealthy guys kind of collection. And I have a male designer for the swimwear underwear, kind of a male look. So you're not only gonna see hot girls and pretty female. We also want the female, like also big part of the show, and people who come to see a fashion, and they want to see cool looking dudes also, like shirtless guys. Like last time, I think they got no less attention than the pretty girls. So and especially when we do like my bridal collection together with those guys, I think it's helpful for photographers and for so many to build their engagement and the wedding and the other sets, because usually just girls, just guys, and I want to mix it up, so creates opportunity to build portfolio for models in different settings when one guy, couple of girls, one guy, a variety of emotions and looks. So we can, if we have commercials and we have some interesting sketches to film and stuff, so we have both genders represented.
Nice, beautiful, and that's what it's about. It's about teamwork, not just work coming up, showing up and showing our talent, and and he's showing his skill set behind the scenes. But it's about teamwork. It's good for the talent, for the artist also to work with people behind the scenes too as well, and that's what makes a stronger team, and that's what makes strength, dedication. Look out for that possible album, Bop Back, Alexander's son. He'll be on the track. Very healthy, nutritional song. You could take that song to the gym and just be on the lookout. Phenomenal son, man.
Okay, guys, as you know, I'm kind of in front of the camera right now and behind the camera, and I think that in the show I'm gonna use a lot of GoPro cameras this time. So we will usually fashion show film from the perspective of on the riser, as the photographers and filmmakers see the show through their eyes. I want to film the fashion show actually from the eyes as a model. I'm putting a mouse grip on the model, and the model walks and filming actually the audience, the photographers, everybody else. So it's like you go hunting, right? And you see the hunt from the eyes of as a hunter who goes for that line. I want to film that hunt from the eyes of that line, it's a different angle, it's a different perspective, it's a look. So I'm gonna be filming you in the audience, and I'm gonna be filming and my models will be filming you. So we will have another dimension to the fashion, because it's films from within rather than from the as the photographers see that.
Yeah, so that's beautiful. Yeah, so they see from what we seeing from our vision, that, and that's one thing that the last fashion show at the Sky Room, you could see that, and some of that, sneak peek of that vision from that director's eye, behind the scenes, Yeah,
I was filming when they coming out,
and
you can see the emotions before the girls go on the runway. What goes through your mind? You're gonna stop in that spotlight. How do you put together when all these people gonna look at you, all these photographers? A lot of girls did it for the first time in their life, for the first time. Wow. So you can see those emotions in the face, how they get themselves.
It felt like he was there too, It felt like he was there,
So this camera, first camera, by me, makes them more comfortable. Okay, there are more cameras gonna be.
When I went to play it back, I thought the TV screen was moving too. I was like, hold on, okay, I'll just press play on this. Hold up.
Yeah, it gives a little bit more like empathy, like because of the video, the pictures, like it gives more like a feel that they are part of the show.
That was something. That was the first time I saw something want to do something like that behind the scenes. And I think that's what makes you epic, and that's what separates you from the pack.
Can you do plug in? What's your Instagram? Tell them who
you can find me on Instagram, Bryant Rogers, Bryant Rogers, Rogers. You can find me on Google, Bryant Rogers. All social networks, media networks, Facebook, Twitter, Bryant Rogers, Google, Bryant Rogers.
Thank you, guys. Look it up. He's pretty cool.
Stay in touch. Anything possible.